Early voting for the November 4th general election started this week, and we've got Republican political consultant Brian Mays in to talk about early voting and the election in general. And so that has to begin with the governor's race because there's not a presidential race to kind of draw people in. Tell me what you think about how that's going. The Wendy Davis, Greg Abbott campaign has gone negative on both sides now. That does increase interest. What do you think about early voting? How's it turn out?
Anytime there's negative attacks, it's going to motivate people from both sides, whether Republicans or Democrats. I do think in this election year, they're tying President Obama to Wendy Davis. It is motivating more Republicans to turn out. We've seen in the first 2 days of early voting, Monday and Tuesday, that Republican turnout, at least in Dallas County, is almost a 2-to-1 margin over Democrat turnout. So you have a motivated Republican base that are voting right now.
And if you're gauging that, Dallas County is Democrat.
It's a Democrat county.
At this point, it's a Democrat county. All right, let's talk about some of the ads, and we discussed the negative ads. One that got some national traction with some national journalists was what's loosely being called the wheelchair ad. It's a Wendy Davis ad that just focused on Greg Abbott's wheelchair for the most part,
Sure.
and that got some blowback from a lot of national media outlets.
Well, I think polling has shown that it's backfired on her. She's gone from being about 9 to 10 points down in a lot of polls. Now she's anywhere from 15 to 17 points down. So it has backfired. I consider it like the Clayton Williams moment in 1990 when he refused to shake Ann Richards' hand. It turned off a lot of voters that may have supported him. I think this turned off a lot of independent voters that may have considered Wendy as a candidate.
Now, overall, once we get through the general election, will we be able to gauge the Greg Abbott, Wendy Davis election results and wonder about this drive to turn Texas blue and whether that was successful or a failure, or is it too early to read something into that? It
may be too early, but you have to think of it this way: the Battleground Texas movement, where they were trying to turn the state blue. They're not being very successful right now, and Abbott's looking to win by approximately 15 points. He's going to win by a bigger margin than Perry did 4 years ago. If you look at, the Battleground Texas has talked about all the the new voters that they've registered for Democrat voters. But Murphy Nassik, it's a consulting firm here, they pulled some numbers and have found that the best voter registration drives have occurred in Republican counties. So Collin County, Tarrant County, Denton County. Where it's the weakest has been in Travis County, which is a Democratic stronghold, and it's the backyard of Battleground Texas.
Interesting. Let's talk about the lieutenant governor's race. Dan Patrick, Leticia Vanderput. It's almost been a lot of ads on TV, but they had a debate, and I don't know if anybody watched. It's been very low profile. Patrick, I'm sure he's putting forth an effort, but it doesn't. In North Texas, it might not appear to be so, and he's way up. Does that say anything about the state of Republican politics or Democrat politics?
I think you have. It's been a snoozer, in my opinion. Vanderput is a strong candidate. She's tried to present herself well as a moderate Democrat that will work with both Republicans and Democrats. But it's hard for her to catch up in that race. Dan Patrick is focusing on the #1 issue in the state right now among voters, which is border security. And he has wrapped that issue around himself. And she cannot, she's not getting any kind of a gain in the polls. She's down by 13 points, I believe. All
right, finishing up, voter ID. It's been talked about a lot. It'll be in place for this election. Do you see any impact from voter ID?
No, I don't. People that want to vote are going to be able to, they're going to get an ID in which to vote, and people that don't want to vote are not going to mess with it.
I wonder if that'll have an impact on the laws, because it's okay for now, and it'll go forward and be appealed and worked out. I wonder if they'll look at the election results and say it didn't impact, and so let's go forward. I mean, legally, does this election have an effect on the outcome of that, do you think?
I would hope not. I would hope that they would look at the law and make a decision on the law and not on did it drive more vote, did it, keep people from voting. So.
Right. Brian Mays, thanks for coming down.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.